online job oriented course. 6 days left. So we'll recap the previous sessions during this week. Only 5 to 6 classes left. So let us today we'll have two presentation. Okay. So five benefits. Okay, for hiring organization development consultants in India, what are the five benefits? The base the base of any successful organization is high efficiency and increased productivity of its employees. Every company, be it small or big, invests heavily in this area so as to keep their employees motivated towards work. In order to bring the most out of their employees, a good strategy is to go for organization reconstructing consultants. So here, organizational development is the process of planned, systematic change in the beliefs, attitudes, and values of employees for individual and company growth. So it matters what is the growth of company. Okay, individual employees growing means company also growing automatically, parabolically. The major purpose of organization development is to set an organization on a path where they are capable to respond better to industry or market changes and technological advances. There are a lot of performance management consultants. Hiring one can be a bit confusing. Many businesses, especially small, who cannot invest a lot of money in hiring dedicated resources towards this task, should go for these expert firms and make the most out of these services in comparatively lesser cost. Many management or structural overhauls are owned to these two reasons. The benefits associated with hiring the third party help are too many, and here is a list of few of them: continuous improvement, increased communication, employee development, product and service enhancement, increased profit. Continuous improvement means the process of object organization development creates a continuous cycle of growth and improvement where strategies are discussed, planned, implemented, revisited, and improved. Companies committed to continuous organizational development work with an aim of continually improving their business and offerings. Then it is a proactive approach wherein companies are trying to find a solution to the organizational problems even before they occurred, and hiring an expert consultant for the same can help bring years of experience and knowledge to the process. Increased communication. One of the major work of an organization development consultant is to increase communication, feedback, interaction within the organization. Then they improve communication by aligning all the employees to shared company values and goals. This helps in opening up a line of communication across all levels of the organization, which leads to a productive feedback that is recurrently shared for improvement. Employee development. With increased communication, and organizations can influence employees to bring about desired changes. See, in the organization, a proper channel has been made to communicate with employees, to communicate with the different departments in the employees. So communication is the major plays a major role in development of the organization. So that this influences the employees a lot. If we have organization development consultant, and that consultant is communicating with the employees in different departments, with a dedicated team working in this direction, the areas of improvement for each employee can be identified in chalking out an employee development program for learning, training, and skills or competency enhancement. Okay, product and service enhancement of organization development consultants are helpful in one major way, by maintaining an environment where all voices are heard, paid heed to. The organization can see innovation at its best. This would not only help in an overall increase in efficiency or productivity, but will also lead to product and service enhancement. If this organization, if any organization want to develop their organization, they has to recruit an organization development consultant. What he is doing, he is making a proper channel to approach employees in different departments by communicating with different tools. Okay, so if you are increasing that one, means you automatically you are increasing the efficiency and productivity, but will also lead to the product and service enhancement also. Means you'll get the information from the employee from different departments about the organization's product and services. So like this, this consultant, organization development consultants, the develop leading the product and service enhancement. Like this, it will increase the profit of the organization. All of it boils down to this: how is it helping me make more money than I was earning earlier? is invest is invest investing in an organization development consultant worth it? So any organization it is doing, if they want the development organization to develop, the organization should have this consultant, organization development consultant. So he will take care of the things from right from the product, services, and the employees. So enhancement of the product, a service, and employees. If any organization it has this develop consultant of organization development, one of the major benefits of organizational development is that with raised innovation, productivity, efficiency, the product and service is enhanced, with which would ultimately lead to increased profits. So if for the upliftment of the organization should look for the organization development consultant, it will automatically lead to the increase in the profit of the organization. Means like this, that consultant will have the ability to raise the innovations in the productivity and efficiency of the employees by providing training program to the employees, and they will enhance the product and services. Ultimately it will lead to the increase in profit. So this is about the facts of getting the or any organization to develop. So these are the behind things, behind factors. It has to look after these things. If any employee he has these qualities of like continuous improvement, increased communication, employee development, product and service enhancement, increased profit, means any organization make that employee in that company for years, 2 years. So continuous improvement should be there in any employee. And communication should be there between employee and the organization. So best communication means you should have communicate the things in the best way, best manner. You want to share on this, and then we'll move to recap of the previous classes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah, usually these days, ma'am, lot of big fortune companies and IT firms, they have a dedicated department for executive and top professionals,
Yeah.
wherein they have an expert level hiring team. But for all the entry level roles in all the companies, they usually give that like they have an agreement with their third party, these all recruitment organizations,
Yes.
wherein this continuous hiring, they will give that for example, we have taken a new project wherein we want 500 candidates on desk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
they will assign the duty to the hiring partner, so that
Yes.
hiring partner will look at the various stages of hiring, and eventually the training part as well he'll look into. Then
Yes.
the final client will do an assessment. Final assessment of that candidates being selected is done by the client. So if they are actually get selected, for example, he has asked for 500 candidates and he has selected some like 550 or 570 candidates, out of which 500 got selected, then their deal gets finalized, like whatever they have made an agreement to,
Mm.
when
Yes.
they go on board, that 500 candidates. So for that, ma'am, a lot of companies that are these days, especially we have this campus recruitment drives or on campus or
Mm-hmm.
off campus drives, wherein
Yeah.
all of these companies, why? Because they are more focused into product and development.
Mm.
Their that
Yeah.
their main focus is on making their product unique in the market, like whatever tool,
Yes.
technology or innovation they are doing, they want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that their maximum efforts get into that area. So that's why this
Yeah.
hiring business, they usually, like a lot of big companies, they, for the main executive positions, the IJPs, they have got
Mm-hmm.
a team wherein that HR team they can look into. But for this, a lot of entry level roles in all of those,
Mm-hmm.
they usually ask for the third party, that is what is this hiring organizations. So
Yes. Yeah.
that is where we have got a huge market of this hiring organizations these days. We have got an recruiter these days. Even a lot of individuals are doing this IT recruiter. They take the job description from the client, then they post on
Mm-hmm.
various social media
Yes.
platforms.
Yes.
Then they sequentially they take their interviews and everything. So if they believe
Yes.
that this candidate is really worthy, then they say you have a final client interview. And then
Yes.
if that client gets selected, then
Mm.
this IT recruiter, whoever is there, will get a profit. So this is basically like a hiring organization, is actually like an interface between the candidate and a company, wherein
Yes.
company
Yes.
want to focus more on their product, their development, the innovation. So they like the
Yes.
what they say is, we will not be having this recruitment process going all together for the year. So it's not
Yes.
advisable to keep a dedicated staff for hiring and HR. So at times when they have got a big project, for
Mm-hmm.
example, and they want to make sure that if they don't rely on that hiring partners, then they
Mm-hmm.
usually for that short term, for that year and a half, they take a hiring team, they hire on board, they hire
Yes.
on roll. But usually it happens all the associate roles, executive roles, support roles,
Mm-hmm.
IT desk roles,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
various entry level IT roles. For all of those entry level IT roles, they usually give to this hiring partners. So we can see, ma'am, these
Yes.
days there are a lot of this what you call outsourcing companies,
Yes. Yes.
staffing companies. They call themselves as staffing companies.
Consultancies we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
say.
consultancy. Yes, consultancies also you can say. So that consultancies, I'll say that we have a job vacancy here, and then they will take on their campus only. Means you'll be
Yes.
having the offices in Begumpet and Amirpet and like
Yeah.
various
Yeah.
organizations there in Hyderabad. So wherein you can go them there, and they can take. Then they say that you'll be having a final client interview at their office on site. You'll be having. So that is where
Yes.
they all the stages of interview you clear, and then for the final stage, they ask for the
Mm-hmm.
client to make sure that whether this. So these hiring
Mhm.
organizations are usually coming into picture, ma'am. And now,
Yes.
because of this COVID, since the stuff are going on work from home remotely,
Yeah.
so this
Yeah.
hiring organizations also, when I was looking into various
Mm-hmm.
that is industries that are blooming. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, in all the native speaking countries,
Okay.
all of their hiring roles usually, so
Mm-hmm.
they say that almost 85 to 90% hiring that is done in
Mm-hmm.
the big fortune corporates, all
Mm-hmm.
all are being done by these hiring partners only,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
third
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
all this is only 10% or
Because of
15%.
they will because
Yes.
they will take care of these points.
Yeah. Why? Because
This is
they
very
are continuously, they have got the partnership with various companies, and
mm,
continuously around the 24 by 7, 365 days a year, they are doing the
mm,
same business, hiring of the candidates on
mm,
different roles. And then they have got a dedicated the social media platforms and digital marketing platforms. They have got a
mm,
dedicated team contacting the candidates and arranging the interviews. So in that process flow, the companies usually think that we'll concentrate more on our product, our innovation,
mm.
our technology, so that we can become a market leader. Eventually, this hiring process will give to some of the hiring organizations. So this is where this
Yeah.
hiring organizations comes into picture.
TCS
So
is one of them, no?
this industry is also, yes, ma'am. This definitely benefits of hiring organization. Like because of this hiring organization, at least usually the big companies, what they say, they never allow you to go work in like physically. You cannot go and drop the CV. I've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
this in Saudi Arabia. They say that
Mm.
you have to only come via our hiring partners, or you have to come
Yeah.
by directly applying through the careers in our website.
Yeah.
So wherein you get an
Yeah.
official entry letter. There is no
Yes.
procedure of the, like we had a conventional procedure. We used to take the CV with us, and we used to drop the CVs in various
Mm.
companies. So that procedure, like 90, I believe that 70 to 75% to 80%, that is not preferable now. Nobody's like entertaining that thing actually. So they always want to either the candidate to be recruited via their hiring partners, that is
Mm.
this consultancies, or through their recruitment carriers, or eventually they'll call for an on campus drive something. So if they have got a mega large vacancy, they'll call for an on campus drive. So
Yes.
at any of the three cases, but eventually you cannot go directly on a CV and drop that like usually used to do in conventional times.
Mm.
So
Yes.
usually you have to first communicate them via this email or their various social media platforms, and try to stay connected. Wherein if your CV has really got the keywords, and if it really follows in the metrics that they are asking for, and even this for the CV, and that is concern also, ma'am. Like this various Indeed and Naukri and Monster has got
Yeah.
like filtering process,
Yeah. This TCS
like
also
yes,
first.
yes, yes, yes.
TCS.
First of all, they'll try to filter, and they usually in the IT they say you don't go with the fake experience. They
Yes.
even
Yes.
have got the
Mm.
partners. They'll do their
Mm.
background verification, like of
Yes.
your academic qualifications and also your
Yes.
experience. If you
Yes.
are showing anything, so it's
Mm.
always preferable. Like if you are really going for an executive role, so it's better advisable that you don't give the fake experience. I have
Yeah.
seen a lot of my friends when they have taken the fake experience from Amirpet institutes, and they survived for 8 to 9 months, and
Yeah.
eventually in their background verification they came to know that this guy educational qualifications is rock solid. He has got a training, and on desk also he's performing better, but the
Yes.
experience what
Yes.
he has shown is fake
Mm.
experience. So just
Yes.
because of this fake experience, they got terminated. One of my friend in HCL, he got terminated in the same way,
Yeah.
and one of my friend got in Robert Bosch.
Uh-huh.
But he eventually it lasted for almost 15 months. But eventually, in their background experience, it came that his experience is not genuine, and then
Mhm.
eventually it got stopped. So it's actually like that, ma'am. Why? Because
Yes.
because of all these stuff, they don't want a headache. Like they want a candidate either to come at an entry level. They have no
Yes.
issue. Start
Yes.
from the entry, start from
Yeah.
the first the basic position. They have
Yes.
no problem. But when you are saying that you have got an experience, so there is a whole lot of expectations that companies do
Yeah,
expect from a candidate. So for
yes,
that, in order to make sure relieve oneself from all of these headaches, so they will catch hold of these hiring partners. If something goes
yes,
wrong, if something goes wrong with the candidate, so they'll
yes,
catch hold of this hiring partner. So what is your problem? This candidate
yes,
is making the problem. So for all of this, they say that better to give this to somebody who can do this work for us, and let us concentrate more on getting more
yes,
clients, getting more business, and starting a new division, and
yes,
expanding our divisions and business. So that's where this hiring partners comes into picture.
yeah. In India, we have hiring consultancy, that is TCS,
Yes.
Tata Service Consultancy.
Yeah, Tata
It's
Consultancy Service.
very
Yes, ma'am.
like it's very good. It's a genuine only. It will
Yes,
take
ma'am.
you and it
Yes,
will
ma'am.
tell you everything.
Eventually TCS started with this only, like the stuff that we
Yes,
are
yes,
coming discussing. They started with consultants, and then now they have got a dedicated IT. They
yes,
themselves became an IT like solutions company now. So
yes.
in TCS now you have got various
In 90s, they were TCS only
yes,
consultancy.
yes,
In
ma'am.
90s, I think so. In 2000, they have developed their
Yeah,
center,
yes, yes, yes,
development
ma'am.
center.
Development center. Now they all those IT solutions process and various other process also. When we go on exploring TCS website, they've eventually
They
started
will
with this.
actually they will recruit freshers, then they will train them,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
they will place them in their development center.
Yeah, in their
This is
development
the
center or
process.
their hiring partners. Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
But the criteria is very tough for
Yes.
that. Criteria you cannot
Yes,
have
ma'am.
in
They
your
the
academic years.
yes, ma'am. There is a AMCAT. There is some evaluation test of
Yes.
the basic mathematics and
Percentage
some.
also,
Yes.
academic
Usually, yes,
percentage.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Usually they have got this entrance test wherein it asks about this all the vocabulary and this quants vocabulary and quantitative analysis and
Yeah, yeah.
vocabulary, both of
Mm,
this combination where they have got the behavioral various logical, like he is
yeah.
the son and he is the daughter, then who is their relationship, kind of
Yeah, yeah.
various
Yes.
different kind of so with that they test the like a problem solving and critical thinking and decision making and
Yes.
analytical and problem solving capability of
Yes.
a candidate, and then they
R.S. Agarwal, if you have
yes, yes,
read
ma'am.
about R.S.
Yes, ma'am.
Agarwal,
Yes, ma'am. RS Agrawal Aschan
then
series. Yes,
you have to resolve, you have to solve those different aptitudes are there based
yes,
on
ma'am.
that.
Yes, ma'am. Different aptitude tests for various
Yes.
organizations like PSUs also, and for other
Yes.
organizations also. It's there. RS Agrawal comes in both quantitative and vocabulary,
Yeah.
quants and
It's
vocabulary.
very good. It's very good publication for your
Yes, ma'am.
competitive exam and
Yes,
for
ma'am.
going through any interview also. It's
Yes,
very good.
ma'am.
Mm.
Especially for like campus recruitment drives when you
Yeah.
are
Mm.
like also the finishing schools like
Yes.
various colleges now and degree colleges or graduation colleges, they have got a finishing school now wherein they are preparing their students in order to get industry ready. So they
Yeah.
designed a curriculum for finishing school, what they call as industry ready
Yeah.
interaction. So
Mm.
from first year onwards they have got a dedicated class in their timetable for this conts and vocabulary and various things that we have been discussing in our classes all these days. So there
Mm.
is a continuous monitoring and this process going on, and eventually that finishing school has got a partnership or MOUs with the various companies out. Then they say that we have got this much bunch of graduates graduating in this stream, and if you have got any of the vacancy wherein you can intern them. So that is where the companies come to the campus and they hire eventually. So this is the process goes on in a lot of premier institutes. You take an example of IIT, ISC, like BITS,
Yes.
Pilani, and all
Yeah.
of those premier institutes. Like
Mm.
from first year, first week of their college, they have got a subject of finishing school in their curriculum.
Okay, okay.
So that is where they become industry ready, ma'am. And then
Mhm.
they give that subject an equal priority as the main core subjects.
Okay.
Eventually in other colleges, they usually what they do, they usually keep it, and but the students also ignore that subject, thinking that, you know, after completion I want to go do with the business, I want to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
But in that premier institutes, they say that, you know, if you don't like, they have a dedicated exam even for that, an
Yes.
assessment. You
Mm.
have to clear this at that assessment, and that assessment itself has got the credits to get
Yes.
into another. So eventually, even if you don't attend and even if you don't pass that assessment, then
Mm-hmm.
you get come stop. So in that way, they are making sure that the all day that their curriculum according like with perspective to technical, they are also preparing what industry needs. So they are continuously in interaction with the industry. What are the technologies, what
Mm.
are the soft skills that they are looking for, what
Yes.
are the various skills they are looking for. So there is a cell, and they are continuously changing their pattern, curriculum, methodology of study, and coming up with the new ideas and projects. So that is where they become industry ready, man. That is the only reason. This is what is I have done the study on this various IITs and IISc, why they become industry ready, and why is that the case that IIT engineers from IIT or any other premier institutes are different from the normal colleges, is where their evaluation system, ma'am,
Yes.
like their evaluation system is like, you know, ma'am, they
Mm-hmm.
only give the syllabus and the prescribed textbooks, and
Okay.
their syllabus is as such. In no single textbook you can get their complete syllabus. But
Mm-hmm.
in other universities, like, you know, you take an example of JNTU and OU or any other, you
Mm-hmm.
can get the local author books, or you can get the normal all-in-ones or guides wherein you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get. So there, for IITs, you can never get all-in-one. Why? Because their syllabus is like that, and within a semester they'll keep and then in next semester itself they'll change that. So
Yeah.
eventually, if any publisher tries to take it up, changing their
Mm-hmm.
curriculum, so it is not possible for him. Like
Mm-hmm.
they cannot change so frequently. Like publisher comes up with the various stuff. So these are some things they want to inculcate the students for self learning. They want the students to go through the concept from various international author books, like the developers. So with that, the students will actually learn the concept, and they'll
Yes,
learn
yes.
the ability of self learning, and uh, the actual concepts that is
Yeah.
underlying. So usually
Mm-hmm.
our conventional education is like, you know, usually the students study like question and answer pattern,
Yes.
but that
Yes, yes.
question and answer pattern is actually the main obstacle from actually learning. It should be
Yes,
the
yes.
conceptual based
Mm-hmm.
learning. You know, when you know the concept, any question asked from the
Yes, yes.
concept, you'll
You
be able
can
to
do
do it.
any question. If
Yes.
you have the
So you
concept, you
you
can do
understand
any
the
question.
concept. When you understand the concept, you don't need the question. What is this? You know, anyways,
Mm.
you know the concept, and then you can answer any question on that. So the curriculum is designed in such a way, ma'am. So that is the only reason. These are two, three primary reasons why they're these IITs, and they're like the marks which they give, ma'am. There is a very
Okay.
strict criteria,
Mm-hmm.
like to get into admission is again a bit difficulty, and to go through all those process and to complete is again a
Mm-hmm.
really hectic and challenging. So
Yes.
a lot of people, what they think is almost all the IITians that get into IIT eventually 60% of them are that would be able to complete that in 4 years, and then there is a 40% of students who eventually take up to 6 years or 7 years to complete that 4 years of
Mm-hmm.
engineering. And eventually there are
Yes.
some single degree like dropouts also from IITs and IIScs. Why? Because their curriculum, they eventually break their heart and they go into depression, and then eventually they are unable to do so. These are some primary like strict parameters that they have, and that's the only reason when they come to their final year or third year, they get
Yes. Yes.
placed in that excellent placements. And
Mm-hmm.
then we eventually feel how they are getting this much, and we are not getting that much. So that is where they have been trained, and they have been brought up that from day one in that similar way, that they can do everything by themselves. Like, you only say them to do that specific work, and give them the deadline by the end of the day or by the end of the deadline they'll be able to do whatever work is assigned to them, so they
Yeah.
make the students like that.
Yes, really true. So environment required for training,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
platform environment for to train ourselves, our
Yes, ma'am.
sensibility also to take the things. So for engineering students, first is IIT, then NIT, Triple IT, BITS Pilani. That is a BITS Pilani. It's don't have campuses. Okay, different campuses they don't have. While like most of the students, IT people, if they want to go for MS, they will go for with BITS Pilani MS. I'm audible. Yes, I'm audible. Yes, I'm audible.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Audible. You're audible.
Yeah. So here we have a common mistakes you should avoid. If you're going for an interview, what are the common mistakes you should avoid? There are many different types of interviews designed to serve different purposes or situations. Regardless of the type of interview, most will incorporate the following stages: establishing rapport, exchanging information, and closing the interview. These are the different stages of interview: establishing a rapport, exchanging information, and closing the interview. Pay attention to the job titles of the interviewer. This can help you decide how much technical detail to provide in your responses. So, how to establish a rapport? This is a very important part of the interview, because while establishing rapport, first impressions are made and the tune of the interview is set. Some people suggest that the decision to hire is greatly influenced by the first 5 minutes of the interview. A good interviewer will introduce him or herself and take the lead. Follow his or her lead. If they are chatty, be chatty. If they are formal, then you too be formal. Some employers use what seems to be casual conversation to get to know you on a more personal level. This may be crucial to a hiring decision. Tips: smile and maintain eye contact. This is one way of communicating confidence, even if you don't feel it. If the interviewer offers his or her hand, shake it firmly. If they do not, it is appropriate to offer yours. Wait until the interviewer sits or offers you a seat before sitting down. If the interviewer is making small talk, participate. Keep your answers short and positive. Avoid asking actions. If he or she looks confused, ask if you can clarify anything. Be aware of what your body is saying. Avoid closed postures. Sit upright but not stiffly. Try to find a comfortable position as that will make you feel more relaxed. Control your nervous habits. Don't swing your foot. Talk with your hands to an extreme, or fiddle with jewelers, buttons, pens, etc. Show that you are interested in the job by asking questions. Try not to appear bored or anxious. Don't look at your watch. Closing the interview. When the interviewer is done gathering the information that is needed, he or she will ask if you have anything to add, or if you have any questions. This is your opportunity to mentally review your inventory of skills and make sure that you have communicated everything that you wanted to. If any of your questions have not been addressed during the course of the interview, now is the time to ask them. Tips: thank the interviewer for his or her time and consideration. Ask when you can expect to hear from him or her. If it is not known when a decision will be reached, ask if you can phone in a week's time to inquire about the progress. If the interviewer offers his or her hand, shake it firmly. Otherwise, it is fine to offer yours first. If not already discussed, you can offer to leave a sample of your work or portfolio if you have one. Then about tell me about yourself. Tips to remember. First of all, think about what I want to hear. If I ask you to tell me about yourself, start with the present and tell why you are well qualified for the position. Best to start with a strong, simple statement about yourself, again related to the job and type of person they are looking for, and expand with a synthesized work history that shows how miraculously everything you have done up to now has led you to this precise moment and prepared you perfectly for this job. Common job interview questions, answers for freshers. Tell me about yourself. The most commonly asked question in interviews. You need to have a short and brief statement prepared in your mind even before you go for the interview. Be careful that it does not sound rehearsed. Limit it to work related items unless instructed. Talk about things you have done and jobs, internships, workshops you have held that relate to the position you are interviewed for. Start with the item oldest back and work up to the present. Second is, why did you leave your last job? If you have joined and left a job before completing 6 months, first advice is never quit a job before completing a year or so. It shows your stability and commitment. Always stay positive regardless of the circumstances. Never refer to a major problem with management and never speak ill of supervisors, co-workers or the organization. If you do, you will be the one looking bad. Keep smiling and talk about living for a positive reason, such as an opportunity, a chance to do something special, or other forward looking reasons. What experience do you have in this field? Speak about specifics that relate to the position you are applying for. If you do not have any specific experience, try to get as close as you can. As a fresher, you may not have much exposure to experience in any specific field, but you can define your projects, seminars, workshops, internships, trainings, etc., related to the job opportunity. Do you consider yourself successful? As a fresher, you are new to the job industry. You should always answer yes. Briefly explain why. A good explanation is that you have set goals and you have met some and are on track to achieve the others. Or you may also say that I have goals of expertising in certain field and once given a chance will prove myself successful. What do co-workers say about you? This is only if you have worked. This may also relate to your batchmates in college. Be prepared with a quote or two from co-workers or batchmates. Either a specific statement or a paraphrase will work. Jill Clark, a co-worker at Smith Company, always said, "I was the hardest workers she had ever known." It is as powerful as Jill having said it at the interview herself. So you have to give a paraphrase about the things you have come across in your team from your co-worker. Okay, and this is about, do you have any questions for me? If interviewer will ask, so you have to answer in this manner. It's always better to have some questions prepared. Question can be, how soon will I be able to be productive, or will I get a hand on training before I get productive, or what type of projects will I be able to assist on, etc. Ensure your questions are related to the job opportunity. So this matters a lot. If you are showing, means if interviewer are asking questions, you should also show the interest towards the job and organization. It's very much important. So anything you want to discuss, your views on this, how you can how you are able to establish a rapport, very much important. If you have to build a rapport.
Yes, ma'am. All of these talks about the pre-interview preparation strategies, ma'am,
Yes.
and about the various ethics and self-discipline that one has to have when he's going for an interview.
Yes.
Like the various disciplines and ethics that we have been discussing in all these days. We have to have a checklist. We have to go through description. We have to go to how we have to make an eye contact with the interviewer.
Yes.
We have to have a firm handshake. We have to carry additional copies of the CV, and we have to speak confident. We have to speak effective. Whenever we are talking about ourselves, we have to be specific with perspective to the job role we are applying.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we are fresher, we have to talk about the trainings or internships or self learning
Yes.
programs or any mentorship work that we have actually
Yes.
enrolled in.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what is makes the difference. Like usually, usually they go with all of these things. So in short, all of these things that we have discussed in the second half are about the pre-interview preparation checklist and ethics that we have to look into. So it comes with preparing a perfect introduction, preparing a perfect CV, and knowing who your employer is, what are the various divisions and works they are going to do, and looking at the job description, what are the specific roles that they are offering, and in the job description what are the specific areas where you are where we are the candidate is really good at. So these are the various pre-interview guidelines that we have to look into
Yeah.
before going. So this is what has been discussed in all our sessions.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Closing the interview, how you have to close the interview. This you should be thankful to them, because he is the
Yes, ma'am.
stranger to you. He has given in a professional way, he has given his time to you to know about you. So we should be thankful to them. So you should show some attitude towards them. So that is establishing a rapport. Okay, how based on the interviewer, you have to be like that. If he is very formal, you should be formal. If he is chatty, so you should be chatty, like that. So and you have to start your conversation, casual conversation, to get it into a, to establish a rapport. So don't think that it is very like crucial to a hiring decision. So make it very genuine. It is depending on your performance. They will take a decision to hire you or not, based on your skill set and based on your personal skills. So that is why you are exchanging your information. It's very much important, and how you are presenting yourself in the interview. That is also most important thing. So you should focus on the interviewer. Don't behave like that, that you are not you don't have any interest, and whoever the person is taking interview, you are not bother about that interviewer. So just you are, so don't show that attitude by nervous. How you will control your nervousness? You don't use the things to control your nervousness, like you, most of them they use pens. They will play with pens or buttons to control the nervousness. So that is not a good habit. So 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 practice it. Don't be nervous. If you have confidence, you will not get nervousness. Unless when you will get confidence, if you have practice well, if you know about yourself confidently and what you have to present there, if you have that confidence, so you won't get any nervousness. This is true, very true. Then how you have to close the interview also very much important. That is a vote of thank giving to the interviewer. So when the interview is done gathering the information that is needed, he is done with your introduction part and he want to close the interview. So you have to be thankful to him and expect some words from him, and conclude that I should approach you for the feedback, for the progress of the interview. I have to inquire how to get in touch. You just ask these questions, and you can offer a leave. You can offer to leave a sample of your work or portfolio. Means you are giving your CV to him. Then how to tell about yourself? So it is a very best to start with a strong simple statement about yourself. It should be very strong, but it should be simple. About yourself means you are saying that I am very much qualified. I am, whatever the position you have in your organization, I am well qualified for that. You have to express that in a very precise manner. Okay, so you have to, means you are very perfect for this job, you have to convey this. So this is about yourself and why you want to leave the job. Don't give the negative thoughts about the previous organization and the previous co-workers. Give a genuine reason why you want to leave. What experience do you have in this field, and how you will consider yourself as a successful person. This is very much, you give your best, show how best you are in the interview. So this is about the things you have to take care of these things. Then only you can go through the interview. If you take care of this three things, these are the things: rapport with the interviewer and closing the interview, how, what are the etiquettes of exchanging information and closing the interview, and what are the etiquettes of uh, telling about yourself. Okay, so please take care of this thing. Inshallah, you will go through the interview. So, shall we stop here? Inshallah, tomorrow we will come up with some other topic that helps you out in attending the interview. Okay, inshallah. I will share some points in the group. So, make a recording of that audio record and share in the group.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum
Thank you.
warahmatullahi
Walaikum salam.
wabarakatuh.